All right, everybody. Yeah, you are welcome to my platform, Timo Starboy Reality Talk TV. Yeah, I greet you at your location time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and for those people who are already sleeping, good night. Yeah, we are about to start again. This is Saturday, 19 August. So you are welcome to the platform, Timo Starboy Channel Vlogs. So anyway, I got update for you. I got updates, many updates. And before I start, I want to do this on Yoruba language. I want to send some message to some afa that àwọn afa tó yẹ pé wọ́n ń da ìlú rú ní ìlú Yorùbá lórílẹ̀‐èdè Yorùbá tó ń da ìlú rú, àwọn afa tó ń pe àwọn èèyàn kan lẹ́lẹ́bọ, àwọn náà mọ ẹlẹ́bọ, àwọn náà mọ onímọ̀nàfìkì, àwọn náà mọ kèfèrí, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń ṣe játijàti lórí platform, lórí media. Àbírò àwọn àfáà játijàti wọlé rí program tẹ́ lè ṣe, lè busy ara yín kẹ́ ṣe program. Wọ́n ní èèyàn mú nílùú, kò sóúnjẹ, kò sówó, kò sépo, kò sómi. So ìjà ẹ̀sìn àjòjì, ẹ̀sìn tẹ́ ti gbà mọ́ wèrè, bóyá wèrè dẹ̀lẹ́ ló gbà yín mọ́ ara ní àmọ́, tẹ́ ti sínwín, ẹ wá ń sínwín lórí kíní, ẹ wá ń lọ arrest ẹni tí ò yẹ kẹ́ arrest. Ọmọ tẹ́ arrest, ẹ filẹ̀ o, torí kò ṣẹ̀yìn. Ẹ̀yin gan lẹ́ ń ṣera yín, ẹ̀yin gan lẹ́ ń ṣe Ọlọ́run. Ẹ̀yin gan àtara yín òun ni Ọlọ́run ti ń bínú. Ọlọ́run bínú sí yín ni, ó dẹ̀ fẹ́ kí ojú yín hàn. Torí gbogbo ìranù tẹ́ kàn ń ṣe lórí social media, ẹ wá sọ social media di mosque, láti máa sọ pé ẹ fẹ́ máa jísìn, ẹ fẹ́ máa jà fọ́lọ́run, tí jà fúnra yín, ebi ń pa yín, ó ń para lé yín, jà fún yẹn, mọ tó tó àti tó yẹ, mẹ́sẹ̀jì yìí mo kàn fẹ́ yan fún yín ni, ọ̀rọ̀ ṣì ń bọ̀ lórí yín, ṣẹlẹ̀ ní gbọ́ ni. Ẹ wá ṣe tán, ẹ ní ẹ fẹ́ máa arrest àwọn èèyàn káàkiri, ẹ lẹ́ fẹ́ máa arrest, ta lẹ fẹ́ mú? Ṣé wọ́n lè máa fẹ́fẹ́ ni? ṣọ́ lè máa fẹ́fẹ́, ta lẹ fẹ́ mú? Ìjà tẹ́ ń jà yìí, Ọlọ́run ò pè yín sí, Ọlọ́run ò sọ pé kẹ́ bá wọn kẹ́ jà fóun. Ìjà ẹnu, ìjà ara yín lẹ̀ ń jà, ìjà àpò, ìjà àpò. Tẹ́ bá máa jàjà tó wà correct, kò ń ṣe ìjà kíní pé kẹ́ máa sọ pé ẹ̀ ń ti èèyàn kan mọ́lé torí pé ó ń sun Kùránì, ó ń tẹ ojú yín mọ́lẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin kọ́ lẹ̀ ń tẹjú ara yín mọ́lẹ̀ láti bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀pẹ̀. Ta ló ń tẹjú ara wọn mọ́lẹ̀? Ẹ máa yà ní ibùsọ̀ tí ò yẹ kẹ́ yà sí. Ibi tẹ́ bá pín àmọ̀lá yín mọ́ ni ẹ jẹ́ kó mọ. Ibi tẹ́ bá pín àmọ̀lá yín mọ́ òní kẹ́ jẹ́ kó mọ. Ẹ má yà ní ibùsọ̀ tí ò ṣe ti yín. Èwo ni kẹ́ máa kọlù yàn? Tọ́ bá kọlù yín, ara máa kan yín. Tọ́ bá kọlù yín, tí ìgbálẹ̀ kan tó bá ra ṣẹ́lù yín lásán, ẹ wá máa tara. Gbogbo àwọn tẹ̀dẹ̀ tí fi ẹnu àbùkù kàn, ní ti pásítọ̀ ni, níbi ti àwọn ti kìrìsìtẹ́nì, níta àwọn ti oníṣẹ́ ìbáláyé, òun ló ń jẹ́ òun. Láni tara yín gangan tẹ́ ń búra yín lórí social media, ẹ wá ń gbé èèyàn kan, ẹ wá lọ ń tì mọ́lé. Àwọn ọlọ́pàá gan, ìgbà tó yẹ pé ọ̀dẹ̀ ni gbogbo wọn, àwọn gan wọn mọṣẹ́ wọn ṣe. Ṣé ìjẹ̀sìn ló yẹ káwọn yẹn máa dá sí? Ìjẹ̀sìn ló yẹ kó máa dá sí? Ọlọ́pàá tó yẹ bá pé, adájọ́ tó yẹ bá pé, kò yẹ kó dá sí ìjẹ̀sìn. Torí tó ń fà lẹ́sẹ̀, wọ́n ní tí ẹ bá kí wọ́n ti máa ń pa òwe yìí ná, wọ́n ní tí ara ilé ẹni bá ń jẹ kòkòrò búbú, tábà sọ fún òwúrẹ́ kò ní jẹ́ ká sùn. Òun ní tàwọn àwọn àfáà yìí, àwọn àfáà tọ́kọ̀ kóra wọn jọ, àwọn àfáà já náà mọ̀, àwọn tó yẹ pé iná náà máa wọ̀ sùn, iná gan lọ̀lọ́ mọ́. Kò sí ìtò ní làákàyè bíi tí wọ́n pè ní mútífù àbí kí lórúkọ ẹ̀, múfú àbí I don't know, tó wà ní Ìwó pẹ̀lú ọba ẹ̀ tó ń ṣe rándanràndan. torí adé tí ò bá gbé yín kó ẹ kó ń bẹ̀ tí Yorùbá ni ìṣẹ̀ǹbáyé ni ọba ìṣẹ̀ǹbáyé ló wà níbẹ̀ níwò ẹ kó ń bẹ̀ ẹ lọ jẹ ní Saudi wọ́n ń wá yín Saudi náà ti ń wá yín ilẹ̀ Yorùbá níbẹ̀ yẹn nídìílé tàwa mẹ́ta lọ́kan ni wọ́n ń ṣe ìgbàgbọ́ wọ́n ń ṣe ìmọ̀le wọ́n dẹ̀ ń ṣe toníṣẹ̀ǹbáyé kò dẹ̀ dí kan lọ́wọ́ èwo wà ní ká máa fa aṣọ aláṣọ ya kẹ máa tẹ aṣọ aláṣọ mọ́lẹ̀ what kind of a nonsense is that? Thank you my brother. If you can hear the Yoruba, it is all this our Afa, this Turban Afa and this Lawali Afas. They just want to turn themselves into nuisance on the social media. They have already turned themselves into nuisance already. Wọ́n ti gbéra wọn sáyé. Ṣé ẹ̀sìn lẹ̀ ń ṣe ni àbí ẹ̀ ń ṣẹ̀sìn? Ẹ̀sìn lẹ̀ ó dẹ̀ pé ẹ̀sìn lẹ̀ ń ṣe ẹ̀sìn lẹ̀ òjò ẹ̀sìn lẹ̀ tí ó ti tó máa rọ̀ tó dẹ̀ máa pa yín tó máa pa yín lára. Ẹ̀sìn lẹ̀ ń ṣe. Nígbà tẹ́ bá ń ti èèyàn mọ́lé nítorí pé ẹ ta lù òun náà ta lù yín padà ara yóò wá gbé ẹ wá ń fọlọ́pàá mú ẹ tún ń ṣe kidnapper ìkan àdónà wọn ní kòkòrò àbí bóyá kíní orúkọ tí ẹ yéèyàn orúkọ rádaràdá náà wọ́n máa jẹ́ ó lóun òun tàn wọnú mọ́tò pé kó wá bá àwọn kan gbaṣọ ó tún ní God láti máa sọ ẹ jáde lẹ́nu ní social media for God's sake èèyàn tún rojọ́ mọ́ rẹ̀ lẹ́sẹ̀ adájọ́ dẹ̀ tún wá ń dá yẹn ẹ lọ kidnap èèyàn ṣé tán bá ń wáyàn tí ọlọ́pàá bá wáyàn ṣé kò ń ṣe lẹ́tà lẹ́ máa kọ́ mú lọ fún ni ẹ máa invite ẹ nínà invitation lẹ́ máa fún wípé kó wá kẹ̀dẹ̀ settle kíní amicably kò ń ṣe pé ẹ máa gbéyàn lọ sílé ẹjọ́ lórí ilé ẹ̀yin lẹ́ ta lu ìṣẹ̀ǹbáyé òun náà ó dẹ̀ ń fún yín padà ó ń fún yín jẹ padà ara yín ò wá gbé ẹ wá ń gbọ́ ọlọ́pàá ṣé ọlọ́pàá ló kàn ṣé adájọ́ ló kàn ṣé wọ́n ló kàn nínú gbogbo tá à ń sọ nínú gbogbo lásìgbò tá a wà yìí tá a pé à ń jà fún oyè ara wa ni tá a sọ pé àwọn olórí wa wọn ò mọ̀ ṣe àwọn tó yẹ pé wọ́n tún fẹ́ kó wa lẹ́rú ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kejì tó yẹ ká máa jà fún yẹn ẹ̀yin ò wá níṣẹ́ ẹ wá tẹ́ pẹpẹ sí orí internet gbàtọ́ yẹ pé owó sàárà lẹ̀ ń wá owó sàárà náà lẹ̀ máa owó ọmọgọ̀ lẹ̀ tán kán gbówó gbẹ̀mù fún yín a máa ṣe rádáadáa ẹ ní mọ tó àti tó yẹ kò tí ẹ tó yìí mòtìfú àbí kí ló kọ ìranù tó tiẹ̀ ń jẹ́ gan ní Ìwó tó máa ṣẹnu gbangba ó kàn kó ń gbọ̀n hanu bíi tòlótòló àmọ́ ẹ tó ń ṣe kò lọ́pọlọ ọpọlọ ẹ ti dọ́bà kò tí ẹ mọ tó ń sọ lẹ́nu gan á kàn máa sọ̀rọ̀ bí ẹni amukun mẹ́kọ̀ọ́ á ní èèyàn kan ògbọ́n ìwọ ìṣèwọ̀ gbọ́n ìwọ ó ti ka ọgbọ́n gbogbo tó ń sọ játijàti lẹ́nu nílùú Yorùbá awo náà ń ṣe ń bẹ̀ awo nìṣẹ̀ǹbáyé láyé tán ìṣẹ̀ṣe òun náà ṣe òun dẹ̀ náà fi bí ẹ òun ó kò di àwọn tó ní ẹ àti òbòdí àwọn tó ní ẹ òun náà fi bí ẹ síbẹ̀ kó tó di pé change ẹ rò pé àmọ̀tán ni ẹ wá da gbogbo ẹ̀ pọ̀ ẹ da lú mọ́ṣàpà ẹ wá fẹ́ kọ́ máa ṣe ti àjòjì àwọn àjòjì ní Saudi lọ́hùn àwọn èèyàn ọ̀dẹ̀ ọ̀hún sọ pé ara ń tà wọn ní ara ń ro àwọn kí wá ló kan tẹ̀yìn tó yẹ pé ẹ gbé ẹ̀sìn tó yẹ pé ẹ kàn jágbà ni ẹ jágbà lórí bóyá rí express lẹ ti jágbà arm robbery ẹ kàn jágbà ẹ wá bẹ̀ sí ń fẹ̀ lójú àwọn tó ní ẹ̀sìn gan wọn káràmásìkí ẹ̀ wọn tiẹ̀ kí ló kàn wọ́n wọn ò ní kẹ́ bá wọn fẹ́ lójú àwọn Allah tó ń ṣe Allah gan ní kíní Saudi bẹ́ẹ̀ náà ní gbogbo Saudi area tí wọ́n ti gbé mọ́ọ̀sì wọn lẹ̀ tán gbé gbogbo Kaaba wọn bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn kò sí pé ìjà ẹ̀sìn oníkàkùn ṣe tiẹ̀ ni ṣé ẹ fẹ́ sọ pé kò sábọ̀ òrìṣà ní Saudi ni gbogbo rátàdá tẹ̀ ń ṣe yìí ẹ jẹ́ lọ jáwọ́ ẹ̀ dànù ẹ jẹ́ lọ jáwọ́ ẹ̀ gbogbo kòkòrátà kòráyọ̀ yìí kẹ́ mú nǹkan míì ṣe kò ń ṣe gbogbo eléyìí la máa ṣe ní ilẹ̀ wa à ń wá àtúntò, à ń wá freedom, à ń wá kílẹ̀ kó da, kárí jẹ kárí mu kárí ná kárí lò, kó ní kálukú kó máa gba ibi iṣẹ́ lọ lóòrèkóòrè, kẹ́dẹ̀ máa pawó sápò, kẹ́ máa rí n fi ṣe. Mú tá à ń wá nìyẹn, ìlọsíwájú. Kò ń ṣe gbogbo ìjà rádaràda, ìjà ẹdìyẹ àti kíní àparò, ìjà ẹdìyẹ àtàparò tẹ́ ń jà kiri. Tẹ́ bá lọ tọwọ́ ọmọ yín bá aṣọ tí ẹyẹlé ló sì ń bá yín tàn, tẹ́dìyẹ bá fẹsẹ̀ sí, gbogbo yín gan iná lẹ máa wọ̀. Tí mọ tó ń jó yín lábẹ́ aṣọ. Gbàtọ́ pé ìlú yẹn gan rádaràda lórí, ó gba ọ̀dẹ̀, ó gba òmùgọ̀, ó gba ẹni tí ò lọ́gbọ́n àtẹni tó lọ́gbọ́n, ó kàn kó ogun ọ̀pọ̀. Kí àwọn adájọ́ gan kọ́ tó máa dájọ́ ìranù, ẹjọ́ àfihàn pẹ́ran. Àwọn tó dájà lẹ̀ gangan dá wọn lẹ́bi. Àwọn náà kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjà yìí. Àwọn gan ló yẹ ká kọ́kọ́ fi òfin gbé wípé ìjà tẹ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ yìí ṣe lè parí ẹ̀. Nísìnyí ìjà yẹn wá ń lọ, ó wá ń tabá yín, ó ń gún yín bí abẹ́rẹ́. Ẹ mọ repercussion ẹ̀ sìn yìí. Ẹ wá mọ bẹ́ ṣe máa pa náà tẹ̀ yẹn. Ẹ sọ pé àwọn aláwo ni ó ń ta sí, ẹ̀yin kọ́ lẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀. Tẹ́lẹ̀ pé àwọn kan ẹlẹ́bọ ni wọ́n, nípa àwọn kan wọn iná náà máa wọ̀. Ṣé ẹ̀yin lọ́lọ́run ni? Ṣé ẹ̀yin lọ́lọ́run? Ọmọ ọlọ́mọ tẹ́ gbé, mo sì ń tẹnu mọ́, ẹ lọ gbé lẹ̀, kò ń ṣe ẹran yín, ẹ gbé jùlẹ̀. Tàbá gbégi eléra máa ń jùlẹ̀ ni, ẹ gbé jùlẹ̀, kò ń ṣe ẹran yín. Tí ẹ bá dẹ̀ gbé jùlẹ̀, ní tójú yín bá ká ń bẹ̀, ẹ fara mọ́ ni. Prógámù yìí mo kàn wá ṣe warm up fún yín ni, àti ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ ètò rárá. Tàbá máa bẹ̀rẹ̀, a máa sọ fún yín, ẹ̀yin gan ló máa sú. Ẹ̀yin gan ló máa sú, torí gbogbo ìranù tẹ́ ń ṣe játijàti, tẹkàn wé láwà ní tí ò nítumọ̀. Ẹ máa lẹ́yìn iṣẹ́ ẹ̀sìn mímọ́, ẹ dẹ̀ ń níra yín sínú. Ọmọ làkejì ẹ lọ́n tì mọ́lé. Ṣé ẹ̀sìn náà nìyẹn àbẹ́sìn? Ta ló fẹ́ gba ti yín mọ́ báyìí? Ta ló fẹ́ gba? Ẹ ti tẹ gbogbo ẹ̀ báṣubàṣu náà, ẹ ti tẹ̀ lójú, ẹ ti tẹ̀ fọ́. Ẹyin tán gbé fún yín kẹ́ máa pọ́n gẹ̀gẹ̀, táwọn sáré dí gbé fún yín wípé kẹ́ máa pọ́n gẹ̀gẹ̀, ẹ ti fọ́ mọ́lẹ̀. Àbẹ́ ẹ̀mọ̀ ni ẹ̀mọ̀ túmọ̀ ẹni. Ẹ lọ́n tìyàn mọ́lé, ẹni kó kú síbẹ̀. Ṣẹ́yìn lẹ dá ni? Tí ò bá tabá yín, kò ní tabá, ẹlẹ́jọ́ kò lè mẹjọ́ ẹ̀ lẹ́bi kó tún máa tún dá. Ẹlẹ́jọ́ lè mẹjọ́ ẹ̀ lẹ́bi kó tún máa tún dá. Wọ́n ní tí wọ́n bá dẹ̀ ṣe pé gbá ẹ̀ lákùúfọ́, bọ́n ṣe máa bá ẹ pè náà nìyẹn. Ẹ̀yin lẹ kọ́kọ́ pè lákùúfọ́, ẹ̀yin lẹ pé gbá yín pé àkúfọ́ ní gbá yín. Káyé tó máa bẹ̀ sí ń bá yín fi ẹnu bàjẹ́ sí. Kanu Naya, you are welcome. You are welcome to the platform. We are talking about all this affair, this our disturbing affair in the Yoruba land. They don't have sense at all. Most of them, they are nonentical, They are senseless, hopeless people. They don't have job. They are jobless. That is why they are doing nonsense on the internet. They don't know what to do, only to just fight unreasonable fight. Kọ́kọ́ máa jàjà ẹbí. Ẹlẹ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ iná yẹn, lẹ́kọ́kọ́ dá iná yìí náà. Ṣé ẹ mọ ẹjọ́ yín ni ẹ mọ tẹ̀dálẹ̀ ni? Ẹ máa lọ máa bú àwọn kìrìsìtẹ́nì. Ẹ bú igbá ẹ bá wo. Ẹlẹ́sìn tí yín ló da. Ẹ máa preach ẹ̀sìn tí ó yẹ pé ẹ̀sìn tí kò ń ṣe ìṣẹ̀ǹbáyé. Tábà ní ká rò lẹ́jọ́ tọmọ nílẹ̀ ló máa jàre. Ìṣẹ̀ǹbáyé gangan òun ni ti Ifá. Kò sẹ́ni tí ò mọ̀ yẹn dájú. Ọmọ inú kòkó, ọmọ tó ń ṣẹ̀ bí lẹ́nìí, ọmọ inú oyún gan mọ̀. Wípé Ifá náà fi ṣe gbogbo ìlú Yorùbá yẹn. Gbogbo àwọn ọba rádaràda bí ọba Oníwò tó kọ́ kàn jẹ́ tó ń jẹ́ míà. Nínú ìtàn wo ló ti wà nínú ìtàn Yorùbá wípé wọ́n jẹ́ míà rè? Ṣèbí Usman Dan Fodio òun ló gbẹ́sìn wá, àdàmọ́ bí tó ti gbé wá, bóyá láti Senegal ni àbí Mali àbí kò tí ẹ̀ yé mi, ibi tó ti gbé wá, bóyá Somalia dẹ̀ ló ti gbé wá ni, ló ti gbé nǹkan ẹ̀ wá. Ẹ wá gbà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀, ó dẹ̀ ráyè ó wà àárín wa ní Ìlọrin pẹ̀lú Àfọ̀njá torí wọ́n fẹ́ ti ọba tó wà ń bẹ̀ wọ́n fẹ́ dojú ẹ̀ dé ni. Kò sẹ́ni tí ò mọ̀tàn yẹn, kò rújú rárá, kò ń ṣètàn rádaràda. A kà á dẹ̀ tó wò nínú kíní nínú inú ẹ̀kọ́. So wọ́n dẹ̀ gbé wá fún yín nìyẹn, ẹ dẹ̀ tẹ́wọ́ gbà kí ẹ kẹ́ máa pọ́n ẹyin tó gbé fún yín, kẹ́ máa pọ́n gẹ̀gẹ́ pé kó má fọ́ kó má bọ́lẹ̀ o, bọ̀ fúnra yín ẹ̀kàn lámọ́lẹ̀ lámọ́ àpáta gbà o, gbogbo ẹ bá fọyán gánsìn. Torí ọmọ tẹ gbé yẹn símbò pé ẹ̀sìn yìí kò múlẹ̀, ẹ̀sìn ìranù lẹ́ ń ṣe, ẹ̀sìn tí ò lálàáfíà ni. Kẹ lọ gbéyàn pa sí kẹ jíyàn gbé, kidnapper náà ń pè yẹn náà. Tẹ bá ṣerú ẹ̀ ní ìlú tó yẹ pé ó lófin, Nàìjíríà mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà ò lófin, ìlú tó lófin tó ní ọba tó ní joyè, kẹ ṣerú ẹ̀ ní ìlú yìí, wọ́n máa gbogbo yín máa kó àtọ ọlọ́pàá tó wà rẹ̀ ṣẹ̀ gan, wọ́n máa bọ́ aṣọ lọ́rùn ẹ̀. Èmi mo sọ bẹ́ẹ̀, ẹ kọ orúkọ mi sábẹ́ ohun tí mo sọ yìí. I said it with my full chest. Ipe tẹ bá dánrú ẹ̀ wò ní civilized country, ipe ẹkàn tọ̀yàn wọnú mọ́tò, ẹ wá lọ kidnap, ẹ wá gbé lọ pé kínní, rádaràda ní kéèsì yẹn, rádaràda wọ́n máa yíjú ẹ̀ bolẹ̀ ni, kò sẹ́jọ́ nínú yẹn. But ìlú tí ò lófin tí ò ní nǹkan kan òun ní Nàìjíríà, lawless country ni. Ìtú ẹ̀ lẹ́ ṣe ń ṣe rádaràda, ìtú ẹ̀ lẹ́ ṣe ń ẹ máa mọ̀yàn, ẹ máa tìpù ọlọ́pàá. Tọ́lọ́pàá bá ti rí bóyá 50 naira kó ti ró owó ẹ̀pà, á kàn máa ṣe rádaràda lójú títì. Àwọn ọlọ́pàá ẹlẹ́bi, àwọn adájọ́ ẹlẹ́bi òun lẹ́ lọ pè. Tó bá pẹ́ ẹ pé adájọ́ tó yẹ pé ni kò ní dá ẹjọ́ yẹn, ó máa ní this is no case ni, ẹjọ́ yẹn ó máa yí dànù ni. Ẹ try ẹ ní any advanced country ní tí mo sọ yìí, ẹ gbé yẹ̀ wò wípé o kéèsì báyìí báwo náà ṣe fẹ́ ṣe, kò ní dé ọ̀dọ̀ adájọ́ gan máa ní àbí ṣe mutí ni àbẹ́ mu gbóyó, wípé ẹjọ́ ìlú ọmọ ẹjọ́ tí ò lẹ́sẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ yìí. Ẹ tàn yọ wọnú mọ́tò, ọlọ́pàá dẹ̀ kidnap ẹ̀ ń bẹ̀ yẹn, kidnapper ni náà, kidnap case lélẹ́yìn náà, àbẹ́ òfin òye yín ni. Ẹ lọ wo òfin àgbáyé náà, ẹ lọ wo òfin àgbáyé, magnitude tẹ ṣe yìí, in fact ó tẹ̀ ti mú rẹ̀wẹ̀sì wá bá Nàìjíríà kìíní constitution gan. Torí kò yẹ kí wọ́n tiẹ̀ any constitutional kìíní, torí bàbá yẹn náà ní constitutional right ẹ̀, ó yẹ kó claim ẹ pé ẹ kidnap òun ni, ẹ dẹ̀ máa san owó ìtànjọ́ fún wípé ẹ̀tàn ló bá ń bẹ̀. Tọ́wọ́ máa ṣe, wọ́n máa lo protocol ni, ọlọ́pàá máa invite ẹ̀, tó bá gbọ́ wọ́n á visit ẹ̀, wọ́n máa invite, wọ́n máa fún ní lẹ́tà, wọ́n bá send ọ̀ṣà mọ́ ilé ẹ̀, ọmọ ibi tó ń gbé náà. Bó ṣe ń ṣe nìyẹn, protocol máa lọ under kìíní ni procedure. Kò ṣe pé ẹ̀kan máa lọ máa tọ̀yàn wọnú mọ́tò, ẹ wá máa lọ máa rú lọ sí kéèsì, ẹ máa rú lọ sí ọgbà wèrè, kí n má pè ọgbà ọlọ́pàá, torí kò sọ ọlọ́pàá ń bẹ̀ yẹn, àwọn wèrè ló kún bẹ̀. Ẹ wá ru èèyàn lọ́bẹ̀, wọ́n wá ń bẹ̀ sí ń dájọ́ ẹjọ́ àfihàn pẹ́ran, ẹjọ́ rádaràda. Ìgbà tó yẹ pé kò òye yín, gbogbo àwọn oníláwà ní ẹ̀gan náà, èyí tó dá wà nù wọn, ẹ má ṣì mí gbọ́ o, èyí tó wà tó dá tí wọn kàn majority wọn ò pé ni, bí àwọn náà tó máa tó 5%, but àwọn rádaràda ló kún, àwọn tó wà lórí social media rádaràda náà ṣe, wọn níṣẹ́, wọn lábọ̀, àbí kọ́ máa threatening yẹn, kọ́ máa sọ pé àwọn máa pa ni, àwọn máa gbé sẹ́wọ̀n ni. Gbogbo rádaràda tó wà ní ayé wọn náà nìyẹn, táyé wọn ò fi nítumọ̀, ayé wọn ò nítumọ̀. Ètò yìí ò ń ṣe fún àti ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ kan warm up ni. Tábà máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ gangan lójú agbami, tábà wọnú agbami gan ètò, ó máa sú yín, torí a máa fi platform Facebook yìí, ó máa gbiná mọ́ yín lórí. Facebook, YouTube, a dẹ̀ tún máa lọ sórí Twitter. Tó bá yẹ pé TikTok náà ni ẹ máa bá wa ń bẹ̀ ni, a máa ṣẹ́ẹ̀lì yín ni, òkú ẹnu òun la máa fi ṣẹ́ẹ̀lì gbogbo yín, tára máa san gbogbo yín pa. Ẹ̀yin tó yẹ pé ẹ̀ ní tìjú yìí, ẹ̀ ní tìjú kọ́bọ̀. Tó bá ń pe pé èèyàn ọmọlúàbí nílùú Yorùbá, nílùú abínibí, nílùú ìlú tán bí Yorùbá sí, tó yẹ pé ọlọ́gbọ́n ló kún bẹ̀, ẹ̀yin ò yẹ kó yọjú, ọmọ àlè ní gbogbo yín. ọmọ Fúlàní ló kúnnu yín tẹ́bà rẹ̀ ní báyìí sọ Fúlàní ni ló bí gbogbo yín Fúlàní okó Fúlàní náà fi bí yín ìtú ẹ̀ lẹ́ ṣe ń ṣe ìṣe màlúù ìṣe ẹranko lẹ́ ń ṣe ẹ máa kidnap èèyàn ẹ máa ní ẹ pé kínní adájọ́ náà dẹ̀ wá ń sí adájọ́ tó gan I don't know mo tẹ́ mọ qualification ẹ̀ bóyá ó gba school start lọ torí ó yẹ tó kó rí ìdí ẹ̀ kó tẹ̀ rí ìdí gbogbo circumstances yẹn pé what is nonsense kó condemn ẹ in the first place kò yẹ kó kàn tiẹ̀ tì mọ́lé at all kò yẹ kó tiẹ̀ lo even gan 1 hour 30 minutes kan wọ́n bá ti gbọ́rọ̀ ẹnu ẹjọ́ rà dáadáa ilé ìjẹ́ ẹjọ́ dọ̀tí lélẹ̀ ẹjọ́ kọ́tà dọ̀tí wọ́n máa throw away ni wọ́n wá tún wá ń sit on it ẹ tún wá ń pẹjọ́ ẹ tún pe hearing pé October kínní kọ́ lọ fi sí reminding you know kọ́ lọ fi sí kọ́ lọ tọ́jú ẹ̀ sínú ọgbà ẹ̀wọ̀n kọ́ lọ remind ẹ̀ ẹni tó yẹ pé ó kàn sọ ti ẹni a lè blame òun náà torí òun gan ó ti rí ṣèbọ́ ọmọ Fúlàní ọmọ kínní ní tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ náà Muslim ní náà mùsùlùmí ní tẹ́tẹ́lẹ̀ bàtó dẹ̀ ti rí ń bẹ̀ tó pà ó ní ọ̀nà yíyọ eléyìí oṣọ̀nà òun ó dẹ̀ yín ọ̀nà tiẹ̀ ẹ̀sìn bàbá ò gbọmọlà ẹ̀sìn yóò gbọmọlà ló fi ṣe ọ̀hún dẹ̀ múyàn sí yẹn ẹ̀sìn tó bá wo oníkàkú ló lè ṣe is a freedom of religion freedom of speech everything is freedom bẹ́ẹ̀ kí wọ́n máa kàn sọ èyí tí ò bá kan mu ni you know we have to be free ká yan fanda you know where is your freedom of religion freedom of speech speech ní gbogbo yẹn kò sí humanity kò sí humanitarian ẹ kàn ń ṣe gbogbo ìjákujàku nílùú yẹn náà ṣá olórí yín gan náà gbàtẹ́ pé arúmọjẹ ló fi ṣe ló fi wọlé tí gbogbo ọkàn yé yín ẹni tó yẹ kẹ́ bájà kẹ́ dé yín mọ́ dé yín mọ́ ẹni tó yẹ kẹ́ lù níkùkù ipò lé agbẹ́ran ni ó lè ajípa ńlá ni ṣe yẹn ń fi ẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ ẹ wá ń palàpálàpà anyway wọ́n mọ̀ pùlà ṣe ń fi léèṣe fún yín wọ́n mọ̀ pùlà ṣe ń ṣe fi léèṣe tí ẹ bá gbọ́mọ ẹ jùlẹ̀ tó bá pẹ́ ń bẹ̀ even àkàrẹ́ wá lọ ṣaṣẹ́wọ̀n a máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ program lórí season yẹn ó máa gùn gan season yẹn máa gùn ẹ jẹ́ ká fi olúfimọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn so program tó gbé mi wá this the program I want to do today so let me switch to English so that is for all those afa those non-ethical afa all those I don't know abnormal where I call them abnormal because they don't have sense they are not thinking straight you know their sense is low their IQ is very low kò tó nǹkan òun ni IQ wọn so náà ṣe ń ṣe gbogbo játijàti tó ń ṣe yẹn so let me come back to the today program so it's a video I want to play so it's about article that seek for the Tinubu Chicago University so let's hear the conclusion about the Chicago what they said and the tribunal court so I will play you the video now so let's hear from there okay.
While Nigerians await the judgment from the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal, Atiku Abubakar, the PDP candidate in the past presidential election, is busy gathering more evidence against Tinubu. Yes, he can actually tender new evidence on appeal to the Supreme Court. So he's already looking ahead to that.
It's a case.
More on this in a moment.
This is a case between Atiku and Tinubu about the Chicago certificate that he was tendered on the this document of electoral document. So he tendered it, and Atiku want to prove that this is a forgery, you know, and it will never stand in our constitution. It can never stand. So forgery, committing perjury and forgery is out of the race, you know. So they should disqualify Tinubu. That is what this man is seeking for. So the video is here. This is the proof. You know, you hear from the us mouth. So
court in Illinois, Atiku is seeking the admission records of one Bola Tinubu in Chicago State University.
Yeah.
After Tinubu filed to be joined in the matter so that he can block the request by Atiku to have his university records, he said his privacy will be violated if the court allows Chicago State University to release his academic records to Atiku. After all the arguments, the court ordered Tinubu to justify and make persuasive arguments that will make the court to block the release of his academic records.
I welcome you.
He has until August 23rd to make these arguments. On the other hand, Chicago State University told Tinubu to provide proof while his academic records should not be released to Atiku. They gave him till 30th August to make these arguments. As you are aware, Atiku Abubakar is seeking the academic records and admission records of Bola Tinubu. He wants to know the secondary school he
submitted. And that is normal.
Just like in Nigeria,
if you are in a court of law,
can be admitted into any university, you must submit your WAEC results or NECO results.
Beyond the reasonable doubt.
JAMB. All these records will prove the secondary school you attended.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what he wants to prove when he gets access to these
share
documents
our program.
from Chicago
Share
State
it. God
University.
will bless you.
When they release these documents
share
to Atiku,
Thank you.
Be able to solve the age-long controversy
about
the actual date of birth of Tinubu. Right now, his documents show that he was born on March 29th, 1952, which puts him at 71 years. Some of his documents in the past used to bear 1954, which is the actual year the Bola Tinubu that was admitted in Chicago State University was born. The implication of the proof, if Atiku is able to lay his hands on them, will be enormous. Let's take them one by one. Number one, going by Section 131D of the 1999 Constitution, which stipulates the minimum educational requirements for any candidate in the presidential election. That minimum requirement is school cert, WAEC, NECO, anything after secondary school. It also has equivalent. We'll get to that in a moment. If it is proved, of course, we already know this because David Hundeyin got all this information. It's already in the public domain, but Atiku wants to get them officially, notarize them to be able to be admissible in court in Nigeria. So if it is proven that the Bola Tinubu that was admitted in Chicago State University was indeed a female, that she is different from the Bola Tinubu we know today, that means the Bola Tinubu we know today isn't even qualified. He doesn't have the minimum requirements required by the Constitution because he means he doesn't have the WAEC certificate because that WAEC certificate doesn't belong to him. That's what it means. That's the implication.
Yeah.
The WAEC certificate is like the foundation. If you don't have them, you can't claim to have BSc or BA from university because you must have WAEC certificate in order to be admitted in a university.
Exactly.
And if you are not the owner, you are impersonating the owner. It doesn't belong to you. So he is not qualified based on minimum educational requirement.
This is a forgery, totally forgery, and it's not acceptable in our judiciary system.
But this is a new ground for disqualification of Tinubu. The main ground that Atiku argued
1999 Constitution doesn't allow those forgery to stand.
And while trying to subpoena to receive the real certificate, it opened a can of worms.
Peter,
this is why he's now seeking to see the admission records, to see the foundation of documents that the person submitted to be admitted in Chicago State University.
Happy weekend
to you guys. The admission records of the real Bola Tinubu also proves why the fake one had to download the Chicago State University certificate from Pinterest. The downloaded certificate contains fake signatures that are quite different from the real one issued by Chicago State University. This evidence solves the jigsaw puzzle. Everything is coming together. It makes perfect sense that the impersonator, who wasn't the person that was admitted in Chicago State University, he doesn't have the records to prove that he is the person that was admitted. He doesn't know his admission number to the university. If you can't furnish this information to the school, they can't give you a serious matter. It's as simple as that.
Not a joke.
Go to any university in Nigeria where you attended. You'll be given a form. Fill out the form. Of course, it must contain your admission number and other relevant information. If you submit all these correctly, the school will simply say, oh, sorry, we don't issue 2 certificates. We'll just give you a cover letter or something like that. If it's a school that can give you another certificate, they will simply issue you one. Number two of what Atiku will achieve when these documents are made public is that it will embarrass the judges. Let's assume that they are trying to find ways to exonerate Tinubu and not disqualify him. And before they deliver the judgment, Atiku releases the bombshell. Hey, the true person that was admitted in Chicago State University was a female, not this man that we know today. Hey, so it will be an embarrassment. Where will they start? How do you start to defend someone who is an obvious impersonator? He wasn't the one that went to the university, but he has been claiming all along over the years that he went to this university. So it will be a bombshell. And imagine the embarrassment to Nigerians, not just the judiciary. Yeah. Imagine adding identity theft to many of his baggages. When people throw jabs at Nigerians now, they'll be saying, he wasn't only involved in narcotics and money laundering, he also stole someone's identity. Hi. Oh, wow.
That was a thief.
So you can understand when we make the analysis that it will be difficult to exonerate and defend this man. They won't see the feet to stand on. They won't see the technicality to exonerate someone who stole someone's identity, who was involved in narcotics trafficking and money laundering.
That's a big issue.
So basically, the man's life is a lie. Yeah. No one will employ such a person. So why should Nigerians employ such a man?
We don't know. INEC employ him, not we.
Now, let's see the Supreme Court rules. A party can actually introduce new evidence on appeal to the Supreme Court, but the only condition is that he must file it before the date for hearing. That's why Atiku told the district court in Illinois that he needs to get Tinubu's records on or before the date that the Presidential Election Petition Tribunal judges will deliver judgment. Also, according to the Supreme Court rules, even if the new evidence was not called during the trial, the person can still introduce the new evidence. And the party that is tendering the evidence against can actually counter-tender, like tender a new document to say, this one he brought is false, look at the real one. But the problem here is that the ship has sailed because Tinubu did not fill in his school certificate. In fact, he left the primary school, the secondary school, he left all of them blank. So he cannot come back and say, hey, INEC, please take this document. This is what I should have submitted before contesting. It doesn't look right.
That will be back on.
And going by all the evidence and revelations against him, that he forged this document, he impersonated this person, even when he contested for governor, that's why he didn't fill in his primary and secondary school this time around.
Because he knows he's a liar.
When he contested for governor, he filled in a fake secondary school and he was discovered. So with all this, whatever he will try to bring to counter what Atiku will tender at the Supreme Court will fall flat because of his history of forgery and impersonation.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now, let's address what many have been saying, that all the certificate forgery issues will be thrown out because of the fact that Atiku did not plead them in his petition, that social rules say that everything you will present must be contained in your petition, that they will capitalize on this loophole to throw them out. There's one thing many people don't understand. This is a constitutional matter. And the Constitution says that if anyone forges a certificate, it stands to be disqualified. So once it's a constitutional matter, a procedural error cannot counter it. You can't use that to trump a constitutional matter. And besides, Tinubu's counsel joined issues with Atiku. Atiku said that Tinubu wasn't qualified to contest the presidential election in his petition. In replying the petition, Tinubu's counsel asked him to show proof that Tinubu wasn't qualified. So Atiku now told them, okay, I will get the proof. Hold on, I will present the proof. And he presented the evidence in court. Tinubu's counsel called a witness who tendered counter documents to counter what Atiku said. They tendered his school records from the same Chicago State University to prove that he actually went to the school. So they have joined issues with Atiku. They've made it an issue before the court, so the court must determine the issue based on its merits because it is a constitutional matter. No procedural error or technicality can trump constitutional matter.
Exactly.
So unless Nigeria happens, the court must answer the...
First on the agenda, as I mentioned...
Sorry, this is the another video. That one has finished. I'm sorry about the interval that's not end. So I will play you the next video, just in conjunction with what we are talking about. This one is a protest, They are protesting against the injustice that is happening in our tribunal case. So let's hear from them.
It's about the elections and the ongoing election petition at the election petition tribunal. It is important that I mention to you first that this press conference is to give voice to the letter that have already been sent to the election petition tribunal. And I want to also mention that apart from the election petition tribunal, there were organizations and institutions that were also copied. That includes the Chief Justice of Nigeria, the President of the Court of Appeal, the National Judicial Council. So before holding this press conference today, this has been sent to them and this was properly acknowledged.
So, as you can see,
and they haven't acknowledged the receipt of this letter, which you can see here. You can see them all stamped here. This is their stamp. This is an acknowledgement copy. We are now here to emphasize what we have sent here so that the broader community, African community, will hear us. But before we go ahead, let me reintroduce. Diaspora Action for Democracy in Africa is a Pan-African organization established as a vehicle to mobilize African diaspora across the world, outside the African continent, to organize and deploy people of African descent, their competencies, resources, and social capital to redeem the African homeland from its state of underdevelopment. Let me also say, why are we holding this conference here today? Knowing that this is an African-wide organization, you must know, or we must re-emphasize, that as is known all over the world, 1 in every 4 Africans is a Nigerian. And I can tell you that across Africa, everybody is looking up to Nigeria, even the world in general. Whatever happens in Nigeria have domino effects across Africa. Therefore, diaspora Africans decided that this should start in Nigeria and then get across to other parts of Africa. Like you can see today what is also happening in Niger. Apart from the fact that the current president of Nigeria is the chair of ECOWAS, Nigeria is being looked up to amongst other ECOWAS countries to actually lead the action in Niger. Hence, the diaspora community believes that whatever that is done in Nigeria will have domino effect across Africa. That is why Nigeria is the official signal for this organization. And as I mentioned, 2 important things we are dealing with here today is Nigerian government and the judiciary, and we are here to ask them to respect the wishes of Nigeria, even as we look forward to the judgment that is going to come from the election petition tribunals across Nigeria. Now, let me go further without wasting your time to mention that the 2023 Nigerian presidential election has moved from the ballot to the courtroom. The results from Nigeria's general election were under scrutiny in May 2023 as court considered several of the petitions we have in these petition tribunals from the state to the federal. It is important to emphasize that even in the Electoral Act, the election is inconclusive without this process that is ongoing right now. We all know that the election petition tribunals are part and parcel of the elections. If the constitution were to be rejected, we are not supposed to have governors, members of the National Assembly, or anybody install the president until this process is exhausted. But coincidentally, where we are now in our trajectory, political trajectory, this process is included, yet somebody has to be installed so there won't be no vacuum. Hence, we have some people at the National Assembly whose cases are the tribunal, people who are sitting as governors whose cases are the tribunal, and somebody overseeing Nigeria as a president who is still at the presidential election tribunal. That notwithstanding, it is important now to know that the presidential election tribunal particularly, whose outcome will have stronger effects on Nigeria's democracy and governance, has become a subject of attention. And recently, as we can see, there are ongoing campaigns, all eyes on the judiciary, of which, as of day before yesterday, we have seen an attempt to muzzle out that voice. But we must say that we find it challenging that in a democracy which emphasizes free speech, citizens saying that all eyes are on the judiciary should be a subject which will be,
because they want to do mago, they want to do forgery.
A suggestive idea for anarchy.
It's not allowed. It can never stand. All right, so
it is surprising that those who believe in the tenets of democracy are actually opposed to freedom of speech, to the extent that the citizens say that all eyes are on the judiciary has become a subject for which some people have been termed anarchists.
Yeah.
But that is unfortunate. But we're here today to say that we believe strongly that the judges know that in the history of Nigeria, no other election tribunal has raised the consciousness of Nigerians more than the 2023 presidential election, which they are currently presiding over. We have seen tribunals, we have seen election adjudicatory processes in the times past. But I will tell you that no other time in Nigerian history has it been this consensus. Now many Nigerians, both home and abroad, and even beyond Nigeria, in fact, if you watch some foreign media till tomorrow, they are subject of social discourse. As of Sunday, we had a very prominent former British member of Parliament, George Galloway, having a world media platform where Nigeria's democracy and the ongoing tribunal was discussed. That's to tell you that, unlike before, Nigeria has become a subject of international attention strongly. Hence, the judges at the presidential tribunal knows that, like no other time in Nigerian history, it has become a subject of interest. And this is one of the things we want to emphasize. Arising from the discussions we have had with so many Nigerians and also other Africans, because as a diaspora organization covering the entire Africa, and Nigeria being a country whose activities have dominant effect across Africa, whatever happens in Nigeria has become a subject of great interest to us.
Yeah.
So having discussed with Nigerians, having had these various interactions, because if their verdict fails to satisfy the requirements